Israeli forces have increasingly concentrated on the dismantling of Hamas tunnels in Gaza. Recently, their strategic focus has transitioned to targeting Hezbollah tunnels and hideouts in southern Lebanon. In the aftermath of Hamas's assaults on Israel last year, Israel is resolute in its intention to avert any potential incursions from its northern border. Over the past fortnight, the Israeli military has conducted surveys of densely wooded regions in southern Lebanon, uncovering a significant Hezbollah threat that includes weapon tunnels and rocket launchers, which pose an imminent danger to adjacent communities. The ongoing conflict between Israel and the Iran-backed militant group has permeated deeply into Lebanon, with recent airstrikes resulting in over 1,700 casualties, approximately 1/4 of whom are women and children, as reported by local health officials. However, ground operations have primarily occurred in a limited border area where Hezbollah has maintained a protracted presence. Hezbollah, recognized as the largest paramilitary force in the Arab world, with a declared objective of annihilating Israel, commenced rocket fire into Israel shortly after the Hamas offensive. Following nearly a year of continuous hostilities, Israel initiated a ground invasion of southern Lebanon on October 1st, deploying thousands of troops to the region. Despite the augmented military presence, Israel has characterized its invasion as constrained, localized, and comprised of targeted ground raids aimed at obliterating Hezbollah's infrastructure, thereby facilitating the return of tens of thousands of Israelis to their homes. Over the past month, more than 1 million Lebanese have also been displaced by the conflict. A considerable segment of the southern Lebanese population supports Hezbollah and benefits from the group's social programs. Though many have been evacuated, they largely perceive Hezbollah as a protector, especially in light of the inadequacies of the Lebanese army in confronting Israel. This endorsement has enabled Hezbollah to establish its own military infrastructure within the villages, as noted by Eva J. Kouluriotis, a political analyst specializing in Middle Eastern affairs. The Israeli army has identified weaponry concealed within residential structures and private dwellings in these communities. In light of its air superiority, Hezbollah has been compelled to utilize tunnels to evade Israeli airstrikes. Experts indicate that Hezbollah's tunnel network extends significantly beyond the southern region. "This is the land of tunnels," stated Tal Berry, research director at the Alma Research and Education Center. Kouluriotis indicated that tunnels extend beneath Beirut's southern suburbs, where Hezbollah's command structure and strategic weapons depots are situated. She further asserted that the organization maintains tunnels along the Syrian border to facilitate the smuggling of arms and supplies from Iran into Lebanon. Southern Lebanon encompasses numerous missile storage and missile launching tunnels, Kouluriotis remarked. Some of the more than 50 Israelis killed by Hezbollah in the past year have been casualties of anti-tank missiles. In contrast to Hamas tunnels in Gaza, Hezbollah tunnels in southern Lebanon are excavated from solid rock, a process demanding considerable time, financial resources, machinery, and expertise. An anonymous Israeli military official indicated that based on prior intelligence, the nation had uncovered hundreds of underground sites, many of which could accommodate as many as 10 fighters and be provisioned with food supplies. The official noted that the armed forces are actively working to eliminate the discovered tunnels or seal them with cement to preclude their utilization. The Israeli military reported identifying and destroying over 50 tunnel shafts in southern Lebanon, although specific information regarding the timing of the operation was not disclosed. Hezbollah employed its tunnel network during the month-long conflict with Israel in 2006 and has since expanded this infrastructure, despite a United Nations ceasefire resolution mandating the removal of Hezbollah fighters from southern Lebanon by the Lebanese army and UN peacekeepers. In mid-August, Hezbollah disseminated a video showcasing a substantial underground tunnel capable of accommodating a truck laden with missiles. The footage depicted Hezbollah operatives traversing the well-lit tunnel, designated Imad 4 in honor of the late military commander Imad Mughniyeh. who was killed in Syria in 2008, an incident attributed to Israeli actions. In response, Israeli forces have deployed tanks and technical equipment in southern Lebanon, targeting numerous sites in the region since the commencement of the invasion. The military recently uncovered a tunnel extending several meters into Israeli territory, devoid of a visible entrance. Additionally, a tunnel shaft was located approximately 100 meters from a UN peacekeeping post, although its precise purpose remains ambiguous. Israeli authorities assert that the tunnels are equipped with supplies and weaponry, featuring lighting, ventilation, and occasionally plumbing systems, indicative of a long-term operational presence. The military has apprehended multiple Hezbollah members concealed within the tunnels, including 3 armed individuals, while an Israeli military official observed that a significant number of Hezbollah fighters seem to have retreated from the vicinity. Naji Malayeb, a retired brigadier general and Lebanese military analyst, posited that Hezbollah tunnels obstruct Israel's capacity to advance, drawing parallels to the conflict in Gaza, where Hamas similarly utilized tunnels to undermine Israeli forces and conduct insurgent-style operations. Israeli officials maintain that operations within Lebanon are yielding favorable outcomes, citing the deaths of hundreds of Hezbollah fighters since the onset of ground operations, despite the fatalities of at least 15 Israeli soldiers during the same period. Israel has previously conducted operations against Hezbollah tunnels. In 2018, it initiated a campaign to dismantle these structures along the Israeli border, ultimately discovering 6, one of which measured 1 kilometer in length and 80 meters in depth, extending approximately 50 meters into Israeli territory. For Israel, these tunnels signify Hezbollah's intention to orchestrate a potentially severe offensive against northern communities. Hezbollah has explicitly articulated its aim to execute a larger-scale attack, paralleling the October 7th attack on Israel's northern border, as noted by Israeli military spokesman Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari during the military's incursion into Lebanon. Although Israel has not presented evidence of an immediate threat, it has articulated concerns that such a scenario could arise as residents begin to return. Hezbollah's former leader, Hassan Nasrallah, who was killed by Israel last month while in an underground bunker, suggested in his statements that an assault on northern Israel could be forthcoming. In May 2023, mere months prior to the Hamas attack, Hezbollah conducted a simulated incursion into northern Israel, involving armed militants on motorcycles breaching a mock border fence adorned with Israeli flags. On multiple occasions, Hezbollah officials have also advocated for attacks on Israel as a preemptive measure during wartime.